Okay, so today's topic is food etiquette. So with food etiquette, there's a couple parts. This is food bowl etiquette that we're going to start with, and then we'll move into leave-its and drop-its. So for food bowl etiquette, this is where we're requiring our dogs stay sitting and wait until the food is on the floor completely in order for them to get to eat it. If I was lowering this towards the floor and Jane was to stand up, I'm going to lift the food back up and I'm going to say and then I'm going to ask her to sit again and start to lower the food again. We don't want to ask them to stay or tell them to wait or anything like that, just because we want them to learn to wait on their own whenever a food bowl is presented to them until we've told them that it's okay to eat. So I'll demonstrate with Jane. Jane, can you sit? Yes, monkey. Okay. So when I said okay, she was welcome to eat the food. Those first couple times she popped her bum up, so I said and I took the food away. While your dogs are eating their food, you can grab some tasty treats and walk over and just toss them into your dog's food dish. This is going to help your dog to anticipate your approach while they're eating food. Now, you don't want to get super close, and I wouldn't recommend sticking your hands in or bothering them, but just tossing some food in or around the bowl whenever you go over close to them. Okay. So now we're going to work on the leave it. So there's a few steps to the leave it, and we're going to start with the closed hand leave it. From the closed hand, we would move to an open hand, then we would move to placing items on the floor, and then dropping items on the floor. So I'm going to present Jane with a few treats here. Oops, that's my fault. And I'm just going to say, Jane, leave it. Yes, Jane, whenever she stops bugging at my hand, and in her case gives me eye contact because she is at that level, I say yes and give her the treat. If you're just starting this with your dog, you don't need to require eye contact at this point. So we'll try that again. Jane, leave it. Yes, Jane, take it. So now that she's figured out what we're doing, she's pretty on board. Leave it. Yes, take it. Good girl, sweetie. Now I'll just demonstrate what we would do for a next step. You want to make sure that your dog is able to do the leave it from the closed hand and be able to give you eye contact before you move to an open hand leave it. So I'll just demonstrate the open hand here. Leave it. Yes, take it. Leave it. Yes, take it. Good girl. And then the next step, like I said, would be placing items on the floor and then dropping items on the floor. I'll just show you a quick one of those, but like I said, you need to go through the steps very slowly with your dogs. So, leave it. Leave it. Okay, take it. Okay, go ahead. Good job, sweetie. Leave it. So the last thing we're going to work on today is the drop it. So when our dogs have something that they shouldn't have, we need a way to get it out of their mouth in a manner that they're going to enjoy. Obviously, there are times when we just have to kind of grab what is in our dog's mouths. Now, a lot of dogs don't appreciate that, so if we have a drop it cue, it's a lot safer for the owner and it's a lot more enjoyable for the dog. So, with Miss Jane, I have a bully stick here. A good rule of thumb with drop-its is try to have something more high value to trade with your dog. So what I have in my bait bag here is some beef liver. I'm hoping that's high value enough to get this bully stick from Jane. Yeah, so let's try it out. Hey, Jane. Take it. Janie, drop it. So she left. She says she's not sure if she wants to give that up. Sweetie. So I'm just gonna drop a few of the treats on the ground. Good girl, sweetie. And she gave it up. So now we'll practice a few times without me letting go of the stick. So take it. Drop it. Yes, Jane. Good job. Take it. Drop it. Good girl, Janie. Take it. Drop it. Good job, sweetheart. Take it. Drop it. Very good. Drop it. Good job, Jane. Good job. Very good. Now, I wouldn't start with something this high value to begin with. Jane and I have worked at this for a while, and Jane doesn't have sensitivities to me taking food from her. But with our dogs, we need to work up to taking things that are high value from them. So start with something like a dental chew, something that isn't super, super, super amazing to your dog, and then work up to things like bully sticks or things like Kleenexes, things that they find on the road, stuff like that. Remember, your leave it is for before something is in their mouth. So if they're trying to grab something on the ground, you can ask them to leave it. If they've already got something in their mouth, that's when you're gonna ask them for a drop it. And do remember, if your dogs are grabbing things in your house and kind of bringing them over to you just to get your attention, there are times that you want to use the drop it, and there are times that you want to sort of ignore the behavior that your dog is doing and distract them with a different item, right? So grab a toy and distract them with a toy if they've got one of your shoes, or even distract them by going and opening the back door and asking them to go outside, and when they drop that shoe or your shirt or your pair of pants or your socks or whatever they have in their mouth that they shouldn't have, you can grab that and then offer them a better item, such as a toy or a chew or something that they can actually have and eat. With the drop it, so we wanna make sure that it is something that they do really well. So practice a lot with them, and that's when I say practice, I don't mean every time you give them a bully stick. I mean, set aside a time to practice their drop-its with them with a dental stick or with a chew before you've given them that chew to go and chew on their own. Once you've given them the bully stick to go and chew on their own, do remember that our dogs really do enjoy that time, and maybe just leave them alone to chew their chew by themselves, right? Bones are really, really high value, and things like those you'll want to be careful trying to take from your dogs, and you can even use that same method of just walking up and tossing the treats at them to make them feel more comfortable about approaching when we have these types of items, or sorry, when they have these types of items. So we'll do one more little drop it with Jane, and then that's it. Drop it. Good girl, Janie. Good dog.